With Super Mario Odyssey coming out later this year, let's look at the game that paved the way.
Let's go!
This episode is brought to you by the Joy-Con Bros.
Yes.
Love it.
Very festive.
Love it when we don't try to do stuff like that. It turns out great.
Just happened.
So let's talk about Super Mario 64, a great game to talk about on this fine Throwback Thursday.
Indeed.
And we shall dedicate this episode to Rachel, dear viewer who loves playing this game, especially the DS remake. So this one's for you, and thanks for supporting us so much. Information on this game: it was released, it was almost an SNES game using the Super FX chip, the one that brought Star Fox, the original, to you.
So glad.
But it came out on the 64,
Can
which
you
was
imagine
great.
that?
Launch title, no.
That would be so bad.
So it was a 1996 game, and it was great because it introduced us to 3D gaming. So it was fantastic. It launched with the console alongside Pilot Wings. It's pretty good launch right there.
I'd say so.
And it has become the best-selling 64 game with over 11 million copies. So that kind of surprised me because I see so many like Star Fox 64 and Mario Party 3 and Mario Kart. It's like if I go to anyone's house with a Nintendo 64, they have at least one copy of each of those games. But what do you know? This game came out on top.
It did indeed.
Launch titles have a little leg up in that regard.
They really do. They really do. They're going to be the ones that you see everywhere, except for Super Mario Bros. 3, which is, it's just itself. You can't really define it other than that. 2D sprites to 3D sprites, huge jump. Also, digital to analog. I remember that being a huge deal.
Right.
If you go back and see, the E3 at which they revealed it, it was like everyone was like, "Ooh, like
when Mario starts walking and then starts running with all the degrees of control that you have, people are like,
"Oh, blows their mind." Yeah. And we also go from the side-scrolling levels to going around these huge areas. Sometimes you have a destination. Sometimes it's just a mission that you got to complete over the whole map.
Yeah, because before that point, Mario levels were about getting from the beginning to the flagpole. And now it was like so many different mission types and so many different ways to go and things to do along the way.
Absolutely. And then you didn't have to go linear. You could do some in one world, jump on to the next to try and get ahead.
Like progression-wise.
Yes, progression-wise. So it's not linear.
Totally.
You could go all over the castle.
Yes. So, this game did well commercially. It also was received very well critically. Almost all perfect scores. And then they re-released it on the DS in 2004 with more characters. You could play as Wario and Yoshi and Luigi, and more stars to collect as well. So that's all you need to know about Super Mario 64. Now let us reminisce, because this game is a critical turning point in the gaming industry and in a lot of our lives.
Anybody who grew up in the 90s played this game, probably. And so if they didn't, then I apologize, and I hope that their Amish life is going well.
So, as a non-Nintendo 64 owner, where'd you play this game?
Well, my cousins had it. You had it. Couple other people I knew had it. So, any chance that I could, I would play this game.
Simeon Mooch King.
Yes. I don't think, as a kid, I ever earned a star.
Oh,
ever.
Wow.
Because I was just, well, first of all, I was bad. Second of all, I was so enraptured by I want to go over. There's a sunken ship over there. Let's go explore that. And just exploring the world was a blast.
I played this a lot. I compared notes with my friends because I had a couple other Nintendo 64 owners my age in the neighborhood, so we would talk about some weird secrets in this game, like stuff that you'd need to know about in order to do or to try. So they probably had the internet dial up and got the secrets and then passed them on to me. So that was fun. Even the menu in this game was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Pull on the face.
Oh, yeah. Legendary.
Yeah. So I loved finding all the overworld secrets. There's that one spot where you have to stand and like look up into the light, and that takes you to a new level. It's like, what in the world?
That absolutely blew my mind.
Even using the camera was a gameplay mechanic in that sense. So a lot of those overworld secrets have been lost as we've, I don't know, in Mario Galaxy there weren't really so many overworld secrets, and then even less as the games turn into, like, we've lost the overworld.
Yeah.
And there's so many overworld maps, which is just, it's not as exciting. So I really hope that Super Mario Odyssey brings this back.
Me too.
Yeah.
Another thing that was wonderful was the soundtrack. Soundtrack was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the sunken ship theme was great.
Yep.
Very 90s-esque. Just a great game. This game was wonderful. Like I said, I didn't grow up with an N64, so I never played my way through it.
Right.
So I know I'm missing out on some of it. But
just wait a couple years for the N64 Classic Edition.
That's right. That's right. A couple years.
We'll see. Or ask for like an old hotel's N64 plug and play.
Oh, the jank system.
All right, so we got some memories as well from our patrons over on patreon.com/2buttoncrew that love this game, so we're going to read their thoughts. Theory says, I vividly remember waiting anxiously with the little brother for my dad to finish hooking up our brand new N64 so we could start the game. We were in absolute awe. I think we spent the first day or so just running around the outside the castle, marveling at the incredible graphics and alien controls. And this was also his first game to 100% complete, and he did so by calling the Nintendo hotline in the 90s, where you could like read pre-record or listen to pre-recorded messages about like how to get all the stars and stuff. So
that's so crazy.
So he had some great times with this game. I really like that. I never had the experience of opening a brand new console for like holiday or birthday or something. Like I'd always played it at my friend's house and then saved up and got it used and stuff. But man, that would be cool. Getting something brand new, having a brother to play it with, hooking it up. So much excitement right there.
Indeed.
Wow.
Glenn has some memories. I was assigned to write a persuasive essay. And because my professor was really cool, was given a surprising amount of creative freedom. I decided to write a paper arguing that Super Mario 64 was the greatest video game of all time. Not only did I receive an A on the assignment, but my professor suggested I submit it to the school's literature journal for peer review. After some time, I received an email informing me that it had been accepted. Boom! Super Mario 64 making school history. And Glenn
is a peer-reviewed journalist, author, and he's also a contributor to our blog. Glenn, what are you doing?
This for you.
Post that on the blog.
Yeah.
Slacker.
That's beautiful. Maybe he can't because it's been peer-reviewed and he can only publish it. Well, he's the owner.
What that means?
I don't know. I mean, once it gets peer-reviewed, it's pretty official. So
pretty official.
So
yeah,
I don't know.
Nice work.
Way to go, Glenn.
All right, and that's not where the memories stop. Make sure you post them below in the comments as well. So we can all spend a day reminiscing on Super Mario 64. Who knows, maybe a few people even busted out after watching this episode.
The inspiration is real.
Yes. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the crew.
Don't forget to share this with your friends so that they can share with the crew memories too.
We'll see you guys next time.
Signing out.